Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Backdoor Radio. I'm Fred Zeppelin. Nameless is out of the room.
Oh my God, coffee!
There it is!
You guys want to just do? Let's just record. We gotta record. We just gotta record. Don't look at me. We just need to. I just want to record.
One
now.
too many days.
I just want to. Shut up! Don't interrupt me when I'm. Just stop it. What are we doing? Start talking.
Do you need to lay down?
Alright, somebody get the crack.
Damn it, does this mean I can't do the maiden shit now since he's asleep?
No,
Yeah.
it counts. It's
Okay.
going.
That
Because
might
he's
wake
physically
him up.
here, okay.
That might
Yeah,
wake
he's
him up.
physically.
I like how he's holding his tongue.
He went all Napoleon on us.
He's so cute.
Twitching. Do you think he's having a dream?
Yes.
Jen.
Dave, will I dream?
I was trying to get a picture of you with your hand on your tummy, but
I need
You
coffee.
blew it.
Need coffee.
you totally ruined it for me.
Go.
Yeah.
Well,
What? Fuck were you thinking?
fucking shit.
I could have hurt myself.
This is not McDonald's.
You fucking shit ass.
I will not entertain any lawsuit. It's hot coffee. It came right from my Iron Maiden cup alone.
Yeah, that's what I thought you
Penis
said.
burning coffee. There's got to be a song with that.
So some numbers so far:
Of the
744 hits to our website.
Yay!
It's 666.
www.videorocksonline.com.
Turn it
Tell
on.
your friends.
That's right.
You
We're
know
coming
what?
close to launch.
Close to launch. As soon as we get the shoutcast taken care of, which is supposed to be here in the next couple days, so all we're going to do is build it up. So all we have to do is add the music files and then pay our fees, and we're ready to roll. So hopefully, if all goes well and we all live at Walgreens,
Yeah.
I want to live at
the
Walgreens.
next 2 weeks,
Hooray!
With tents camping out in the Walgreens.
I'm kind of hoping that we'll be officially live if we can pay everything
Pay your mouth.
the week after
With your dick.
the 4th of July party.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Hooray!
So apparently we're going to the beach and having a tea party. Are we?
Hell yeah, we go to the beach having a tea party. No, we're just gonna go to the beach.
Well, I mean,
As long
that's
as
fun
there's-
too.
The fuck kind of fun is that? Oh, look at that, we just went to the beach. No, I'm gonna throw
You
my
shut
tea
the fuck
bags.
up! You already went to the beach this week. I did not approve
So
that.
you're going to be teabagging at the
Don't
beach
throw
party?
that trip. Well, guess what? It's because you're a chav and you ain't got the stones to do what I'll do. Now do you? Snap, snap, there we go. Just save the ass.
So you're going to be teabagging at the beach party?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take my tea bags. I'm just gonna bloop, right in the ocean. Just dunk them right on in there.
That one flew straight over his head.
Yeah.
I was making a tea bag,
He
dude.
was too busy juggling marbles in his mouth.
Don't make fun of me. Chubby bunny.
Oh, by the way, is anyone twittering?
You're tweeting for beating right now. That's what you're doing.
So far, not at the moment. I just opened up the site and I had to add 2 people I wanted to follow. And that was Megadeth and Iron Maiden.
Yes!
We were following Iron Maiden.
Right, this was the Flight 666 thing that's supposed to be coming out in October. There's
Oh, I was going to say, because
Nice.
it's the official, we were following the official Iron
Right.
Maiden one.
Oh, yo, real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
2 things. 1, butt sex. Just want to say while we're recording. 2, Boston Bruins. What's up?
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, no, I wanted to bring it up again.
So-
Well, I think we should bring up butt sex
next
again.
week. Or last week.
Yeah.
So until then,
I will fuck you.
Oh, no.
I will fuck you hard
Oh.
into next week.
I'm hard to please.
Will
I thought
there
you were
be
gonna say hard to
witnesses?
But yeah, apparently it's called Onboard Flight 666. It's a new book about the band. A lot of previously unreleased photos of their
Word.
tours. So that's supposed to be coming out in October. I cannot wait because it's apparently
My birthday's in October.
very similar.
That's a bit scary over
It's
there.
very similar to this.
Oh my god, it's an encyclopedia.
It's the history of Pink
Have you
Floyd.
seen that?
No.
Rizzo?
It's supposed to be very similar to that book.
It looks like a book you would have to buy for an art history class.
What? What?
I'll shake you like a baby.
What?
Ah, eh.
Oh, that's cool.
Fucker not calling me up when Iron Maiden's up here in
I like that
DC.
picture much better than the
Hey, look at
last
me! I
picture.
got free tickets to the Iron Maiden show. I'm gonna call you and tell you that I'm going.
I knew your sister. It was her responsibility to pass along the
That
information.
bullshit.
I asked
No.
around.
No, man code. You should have known me.
Dude!
You owe me now.
Although, are you sure I didn't ask you? I thought I did.
No, I don't think
And
you
you
did.
were
What
like,
about
oh, I
that?
can't because of school.
Fuck
or-
that! I would have told school to suck these nuts.
Dude, I had 4 tickets. I even asked Fred. He said he couldn't go. Then again, he didn't like Iron Maiden at the time.
You're a,
Oh, at the time?
you
No, I
are a
didn't.
clown, sir.
Yeah. But at least I've been educated since then.
What
Thank
did you
goodness.
learn?
Nothing.
Huh?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shake like a motherfucking baby.
Like you're a British nanny.
Like I'm a British nanny.
Yeah,
And
that's
baby got real quiet.
Have we heard from Cal lately?
Yes, we have.
Good, because I was about to punch his ass in the muff.
Well,
he doesn't have a muff.
Yes, he does.
he's
British, of course he does.
Oh!
Uh-oh, I just went there and I did knock out.
I believe he's calling you something very
To
nice.
be
Yeah, put
fair,
him out
though,
there,
he
boy.
was.
Hermaphrodite, that's what I'm calling him.
He's calling you a Hermie then.
Oh, he could give me a Hermie anytime he wants.
Yeah. Who's Hermie then? That's what I want to know. Bloody hell.
You got any more?
He's a bleeding Hermie over there.
What?
What?
I'm just waiting for you guys to be done so I can say this.
No, go ahead.
No, because you're going to interrupt me. You're going to go,
You got the- Dude, you
interruption!
got the look.
Interruption!
He's got that look on his face of, oh yes, please talk again so I can interrupt you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. When have I ever done that? Seriously, no, give me an example.
I think
Give me an
from now
example.
on,
Shut your face up.
John needs to sit outside when he makes claims like that because I don't want lightning struck in my garage.
No, seriously, give me an example.
30 seconds or a minute ago?
Alright, fine. You know what? No. I will say what I want to say.
Interruption!
See?
Now I'm just waiting.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
sniper.
Pretty much. But no, Calvin was doing the
Interruption.
video editing for his band's video.
Right.
Am I the only one that watched
Interruption.
The week we've had, I haven't had a chance
I
to
am
watch
the only
it.
Well, I watched it. Ha.
When was the last time he?
The other night.
Okay, so we haven't followed that on yet.
No.
Okay, that's why.
It was just because I emailed him and I was like, hey.
You know what, if you're not
I
going to
had a
acknowledge my
chance
interruptions.
It's best.
Because I was just like, hey, real quick, just so you know, I didn't forget about you.
Did you reply back to the outgoing messages I saved for him?
Yes, he did.
Hooray!
He said that I think he said that they were brilliant, and that he would be uploading them to his phone this
You
weekend.
fucking better be.
But the only way it's
Tell
going
him I want him to
epic-
transfer 500 pounds to my euro. Right to my
It's
euro.
more intellectual property.
Yeah.
Of imitating other people.
I'm gonna rape him harder than Fantasy Records rape Creedence Clearwater.
Oh my.
You bloody grimy
Let's
lot.
got a cuddle afterwards.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if he transfers 500 pounds to my account and buys me a plane ticket over there, I'll cuddle with him.
Twice?
No, just once. He only gets fuck that. He's lucky he gets one. You know,
Oh.
in some third world countries, it's actually considered an honor
Yeah.
to be cuddled by this.
Well, some it's considered normal as well.
In some countries, it's considered normal for me to put my foot right up your regular ass now.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But we don't live there now, do we?
Well, I wish we did. You laugh like a hyena, you do. That's right. Close your mouth.
Hey, he's got weapon training. You gotta watch out for that one.
Uh-oh.
Really?
No! 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 I need a doll!
Now that he's out of here, we can start with the interview.
Yes.
Before we start with the Iron Maiden stuff,
Yes.
I have
Confession?
no. Actually, it's your confession.
Oh, good.
I have given the opportunity for Fred Zeppelin to listen to Iron Maiden because he was the only one on the show up until last week who didn't listen to them,
Mm-hmm.
and we have forgiven him to a point because he's been open-minded about it. So since when I did the first segment of it, you really didn't say anything because you had pretty much no idea what I was talking about.
Exactly.
But now that you do have an idea,
Not like that!
He's outside. I was about to be like, where the hell is he? It's way too quiet. And then he just starts
for a second
banging
there,
on the
no,
door.
seriously, for a second there, because I had the fucking laptop in front of me, I thought he crawled on the floor and was doing it under the table. And then
You wouldn't be so.
and then my toy fell down. And I
That
was
was
like, oh.
fucking awesome. He was just busting my balls, and then you do that. All right. So
Do you need a kiddie pool?
basically, yeah.
Aww.
Bubsy.
Mr. Turtle.
That looks a
Do
little
not
scary.
violate my turtle.
I'm
That
sorry.
looks a little scary right there.
Come on,
Even that
Franklin.
is little-
You are going on into the
I
bench.
think he's doing the turtle right now. He's got a little turtle head going on.
His sunglasses been on.
He's got his greasy
Very good.
mitts all over the
What
turtle
is going on with
thing.
that turtle?
It's
Put it
a
on
Build-A-Bear
lawn.
turtle I got for an anniversary present a couple years ago.
He's got his grubbing that's a
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard they got really hard teeth, though. You better watch
My
it.
family knows that I love turtles.
Everyone better
No,
watch
I
out.
think it
It's a
just
snapping turtle.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Rugged
saying.
outdoorsy turtle.
Oh yeah, because
Like
its shell's
ready to
actually a
go.
backpack.
Ah.
So I put the Iron Maiden slap wrist bracelet on him, named him Nico.
Cool.
So,
He was Sack
nameless,
Nico.
just Sack Nico?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's why it feels so good.
So
By the way, when I was outside yelling, your neighbor was out there like doing the trim, and he kind of just looked over. And I was like, "Yeah,
damn
Dad."
it.
Should have waved at him.
Yeah.
So,
how the fuck
what was
are
this
you?
crazy? What was this crazy white dude doing, yelling at your garage about
Or at
being
least you should've-
molested
you
by
should've-
dolphins?
At least you should have winked at him anyway.
Being like, "You're next."
Exactly.
So speaking
Save yourself.
Yeah.
not like this. So what's your opinion now?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, like I think we were discussing previously, these guys are in a class by themselves. They have done what they wanted to do for 30 years and gotten not only rich doing it, but never compromised their principles. From what I've heard up until 1996 and the little bit that you showed me today, it's just basically, as far as I'm concerned, the not only the production values have gotten better, but the musicianship has as well. They were earnest right from the very beginning, and all that's happened since then is they've gotten better at what they're doing, which has always been honest from what I can hear. They've never done let's do some top 40 now.
Right.
You know, it's never any of that piss like the other band we could mention. Anyway, but yeah, no, and there are several songs already that I really like, and some that you may not have thought that I would have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's usually the melody that gets me.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that you actually liked the song specifically, "No Prayer for the Dying."
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it's so filled with emotion and it's so blues-based, and I like blues-based stuff anyway.
Right.
But the fact that they can carry that... Oh, and what is the name of the blues tune that they do? Something about...
The Sheriff of Not.
No, the Donkey...
Oh, Naughty Donkey Blues.
Yes. That I was listening to, laughing hysterically, but also really enjoying the fact that here's a British metal band that, you know, is known for doing metal, period, and doing it very well. And they can not only do that, but they can do covers astronomically well. Like, for instance, when they did the Who tune, and I'm listening to that going, is that Entwistle playing the bass? That was the first thing I thought in my head was, is that John Entwistle playing the bass? And it wasn't. It was Steve.
Yeah. And Steve's a nasty, nasty bass player.
Well, I mean, he's a terrific musician, obviously. I mean, if he can sit there and take his concept to the band and go, here's how you play this, here's how you play this, here's how you sing that. You don't find a whole lot of people in the music industry that can do that. There's like Paul McCartney or Phil Collins or him. I mean, and I'm sure there's others, but there aren't a lot of others, and he's one of them. So kudos to Iron Maiden.
You also thought it was specifically cool that Bruce Dickinson, with his 757 pilot's license, that he converted his Boeing 757 and took a group of British Royal Air Force pilots to Afghanistan to drop stuff for the troops on the ground.
Yep.
You thought that was...
Real quick pause. I'm just reading over these notes here, and you were talking about having an argument with a plant.
Yes.
And then you said you should name the plant Robert. First thing that popped in my head was you should just name the plant.
Why would I want to name a plant Robert when Robert Plant sounds better?
No. You're not getting the point.
Rick-
She should name her plant and then just argue with it. You go fuck yourself.
Robert was
I
comedy
forgot
gold.
we ain't big enough to go fuck yourself.
There are a lot of women with plants named Robert, I'm quite sure. I don't know why.
Bruce also presented Bruce Dickinson's Friday Rock Show on BBC Radio Station 6 Music from 2002 to 2010. Let's see.
2011?
No, what was it? The bassist from The Stranglers took over the presenting duties while Dickinson toured the U.S. with Iron Maiden. In March 2010, the BBC announced that after over 8 years, Dickinson's show was to be axed. I would love to find that on DVD.
What?
That show.
I thought it was a radio show.
It's kind of. It's my understanding. It's kind of like done like the Bob and Tom show, where it's a radio show, but they film it at the same time.
Oh, nice.
And if you pay a specific fee to BobandTomRadio.com,
Right.
a subscription fee, you can actually watch their morning show every day. So
Is that the direction that you were trying to take us in? Okay. That makes more sense now, because I didn't know what you were
because
talking
I thought it
about.
was a great idea.
It is a great
especially
idea.
if you get guest musicians to come on the show, which they do all the time. You can actually, especially like they had.
You could be the videographer.
They had several comedian
from your standpoint.
musicians that came on the show, and I thought that it would be a lot
Just
more
have it stand still.
funny to watch and listen than just listen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great. I think it's a good direction to take us into eventually.
Yeah.
But see, when you told me originally, you didn't tell me all that.
Well,
and
see, I
didn't
thought you
even
were
know that
part of
was
the.
an
I
option.
thought you were part of the
That's
conversation.
why I
No.
told. That's why I told him
Really?
to.
How you gonna just sit
encapsulate
there
things in
and
an
cry
email
about
and
the
send it?
breeds,
Yeah,
dog?
that would
And then
be-
you type in
See?
LM
You type in something
AFO
like-
laughing my fucking ass off. Yeah.
Laughing my motherfucking ass off.
Whatever, dude. You abbreviated it and you kept crying about how people texting and all that.
Texting is one thing. Speaking in text is another.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, he's gonna conversate about it.
Yeah.
I'm about to conversate all over this motherfucking room.
Not while I'm talking about
speaking in text. Oh no, I was thinking of speaking in tongues. Terrible.
So we're not allowed to LOL all over the place while you're talking about Maiden.
No, that's blasphemy.
So you can't say laughing my motherfucking maiden ass off?
Well, I guess only Bruce and like the
I'd be
band
afraid
can
to
do
be
that.
sued.
But wait, if you have a Maiden ass.
Maiden where? Yeah.
Have you seen the front cover to the Archives box set for the B-sides?
I'm just imagining you trying to put a bonnet on your ass. I mean, that's just
Well,
because
no.
of the original
Wait!
word.
Put a rattle like betwixt the cheeks, we got a baby.
He said betwixt.
What? A baby that you're gonna shake like a British nanny.
Hey, I'd like to shake a British nanny.
So between 1980 and 1996, what was your favorite era?
Say that again.
Between 80 and 96. If you had, we're gonna go back to that. If you're on
88 to 90 so far.
88 to 90, really?
Yeah. Well, but then I was listening to the initial CD that you made me, and I really liked that. The only thing I didn't like about it was the production values, which of course they've got. Like I was listening to Charlotte '88, and I liked that
Yeah.
better than the initial one, or the original one. But so
See, I kind of liked how his facial expression was when I made him listen to the audio demo of Bruce Dickinson doing Killers.
yes,
And his eyes just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I thought literally his eyeballs were going to pop out of his face.
What I really appreciate out of what I've heard so far that you've made for me is you've given me several different impressions of various songs done by 3 different people. And they all have their take on it, and they're all, the ones that I'm talking about are either the audition takes or the live takes, and you pick. But it's just fascinating, and even like during the Blaze Bayley era, I was listening to
How
that.
is that? What?
Apparently, my
Is it a leaf
neighbor is
blower?
mowing his lawn.
Someone's blowing
Yeah.
really hard, it is.
You sure it's a mower and not a leaf blower?
It's probably a leaf blower. I don't know why. There's no trees.
It sounded like an airplane taking off.
Yeah,
Then
but
again, I don't really know what airplanes sound like when they take off. So I just made that up.
even that, I think I found things that I liked about that, and it was almost like Blaze sort of sounded like Paul in a different
And
way,
trying to
not
sing
like,
like
and he
Bruce.
was trying to sound exactly like you were explaining it, and
Well,
he was
it's like
trying
I
to sound
said,
like Bruce, and he couldn't do
I
it.
listened to the X Factor, and it sounded to me that Blaze wasn't comfortable being now
Filling
that he's
those
with
shoes.
Maiden with this huge history of heavy metal history that they've actually literally made.
Well, I think if he came after Paul, he could have done that.
Oh yeah,
But coming after Bruce, no.
no,
And I think he knew that, but I also think that the guys in the band knew that as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think they figured that Bruce would come back, eventually and go, right, tired of flying planes then. Right, here we go.
Right.
And he'd come back in there, and he obviously did. And as you were saying, I think it was a convenient juxtaposition there that Bruce was ready and Blaze was ready in the other way
Right.
to
it was
leave.
an amicable parting of ways
Yeah.
and sort of reunion because what was it? Adrian Smith had left first, then Bruce. And when Bruce left, Yannick stayed, and Yannick was on Bruce's first solo album, Tattooed Millionaire. And that was before Bruce decided to permanently leave for a while. And then when Bruce said, "Hey, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?" It was at the same time that Blaze was pretty much, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I was in
'Cause-
love with the idea.
Well, I'll put it this way: when I heard the live stuff that Blaze did, like the
Evil
Falling
That
Down
Men
song,
Do.
which the name escapes
The
me.
evil that men do.
No, the one about falling down.
Oh, Man on the Edge.
Yeah, when he was doing Man on the Edge.
I'm not even going to acknowledge my joke.
Well, I didn't hear the joke. What was it?
What
You
was it?
said you said about falling down, and my
Yeah.
response was some stairs. Because they're
Nah, he's
Freddie
not
Frog
crazy.
starts falling down the stairs. We come full circle. Like, excuse me, I've got some wine. But,
The only way that could be better is if somebody could make the noise of somebody thumping down the stairs.
Well,
No, we
well,
can't.
I can only picture Fred following us. Like it would be really slow because he's really
Well,
old. So
from
it'd be
now
like,
on, whenever we're walking around Fred, always carry a damn audio recorder with you just in case.
Well, he's not British.
Who?
well, Callie,
Maybe.
that line's
No.
a sack of shit.
I'm only British in my mind. Yeah. After that, it's sort of
I can
gone.
just imagine if we ever end up going over to the UK, that we just walk around
Well,
following people upstairs with the tape recorder just to see if we can pick it up.
What the
Yeah.
hell are you lot doing? Don't worry about it, mate.
Just keep going.
Just let it happen.
well,
Why are there banana peels all over the stairs? Don't worry about it.
I have a
just imagine that we're like out and about, in like the city or whatever. We've
yeah.
been wandering for an hour and a half
Yeah.
and nobody's fallen yet, so we just kind of come up behind somebody, give them a little nudge.
Well, I thought you were gonna say like as soon as we turn the tape recorder off, someone falls down the stairs, and it's like a violent like oh.
like you're at Westminster Abbey somewhere, and you go, "Oh, Sarah, boom! Oh, perfect. Thanks, then."
What we need to do is get someone to fall down an escalator that's going up, so they're just rolling.
It won't stop! Oh, good Lord!
body back up to the top.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets stuck.
And then their shoes
Roll it
get
back
stuck.
down.
Yeah, and then their shoes
Yeah,
get
we
stuck.
need to get that first take just right.
No, then their shoes get stuck at the top of the escalator and it eats their foot.
Get a toddler, it'll work better.
Yeah.
Goddamn kids on the escalator again.
Oh no.
Make some baby paste.
But I left.
Oh God.
At least you didn't say baby batter.
Well, I mean, baby paste, baby batter. It could be taken. The direction I was going with it was you have a baby on an escalator that goes to the top and gets smushed, and then comes out the other side. It's baby paste.
No.
Oh!
Whoopsie.
Hey,
Did all do that?
the next time we do a
Yes, you
session
did.
here at the Analog Kid Residence, I'm going to bring parts of me drum kit.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Oh,
were
I
like, I'm
know
gonna bring
what
parts of
he's
me. And I was like,
talking-
whoa.
Yeah, I'm going to bring parts of me here and put them on display.
Fred, just because you put them in jars of formaldehyde doesn't mean everybody else wants to see them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred.
Yeah, trust me, I know. There was a museum in D.C. that had that sort of stuff going on.
No. The Smithsonian's still there.
Yeah, the Smithsonian is, but it wasn't there when it wasn't in the Smithsonian when I went. It was at Walter Reed, and back before there was light, and they had John Dillinger's penis in there.
No.
Oh yes, they did.
Why would you remove?
Why? Because I'm 11 years old and there's this huge
No,
dick,
like,
and
no,
I'm like,
why-
oh,
Why would someone remove that from somebody else?
oh,
For
I don't know.
science.
Science!
You would donate your dick to science?
If it was that big, I probably would. I'd be like, I'm not using it anymore. Hello, Harriet, would you like my penis then? Here we go.
I'm sorry.
Put it in the
all this
mold.
coffee.
There
I'm on
you
another plane
go.
of existence right now. I'm ethereal right now.
So I left off with Number of the Beast.
Shab in your mouth?
Yeah.
And so the following album,
No.
I'm completely ignoring these two assholes.
No.
You're an asshole.
No, but yeah. When,
Nah, but yeah.
Nah, but yeah. Shit.
No, I had a guy that I
Fred,
used to
go
work
into the
with.
kitchen and turn off the coffee pot.
Don't you do
don't
it.
you fucking touch it! I used to work with a guy, and like, you know, he'd sit there, and if he
Sit
broke
your
something,
ass down.
you're playing a dangerous game, old man. Real fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
But
Touching no coffee pot.
it's like the Fast and the Furious watching his ass walk out, like, dude. No, but like anytime you fuck something up and you talk to him about it, like you confront him about it, like, yo, Matt, did you put this processor in backwards because the pins are all bent? He'd be like, nah, but yeah, because you know, I was doing this, but yeah, but nah.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
See, from this angle, I saw him. I didn't see what he had.
You thought he was
Yeah,
touching his
you just
penis?
cranking it?
I thought he was touching
Maybe
his
he's just cranking it, yes.
I wasn't touching my member. I was opening.
My ass.
Real quick, have you ever noticed, like, I was watching, it was on TV the other day, it was Metallica's No Leaf Clover, it was the music video for it. It was the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen.
Yep.
They sit there in the beginning where it's like, where it's just the instrumentals, it's showing like Lars smashing on the drums, I'm like, no, that doesn't, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Dude, music videos suck balls, generally speaking.
Yeah.
They suck balls!
Iron Maiden was one of the first bands to ever actually make a video pre-MTV.
Yep. And as far as music videos go, I mean, you're into a band to watch them play most of the time. And if you see a video of them, you want to see them play. So what's the point of them dressing up as whatever it is and, being in some weird ass scene? Just let them play, please.
Well, I mean,
Well, I think it may have originally started out as like just artistic expression. So taking it from
Maybe.
an audio
Yeah.
format and then expressing it visually. But
Yeah.
nowadays it's become so marketed with MTV and
Yeah.
cable and things like
Well,
that.
I mean,
and
It's
there's
just
like-
quick flashes of nothing, things that don't make sense.
They're
Like they're playing, and then it's just like a quick flash of, I don't know, like a lamb.
Well, there are Beatles.
It doesn't make sense.
There are Beatles videos of their like Sgt. Pepper stuff where they're out in some field and there's trees, and I'm like, what the fuck?
All I'm gonna
does that
say
have
is a
to do
music
with
video should
anything?
tell the story behind the song, not Or in
Yeah.
Iron Maiden's case, where they're actually playing up on stage, that makes sense to me.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, have you seen Wildest Dreams by Iron Maiden? The video.
No.
It's about where they're driving the race cars and like post-apocalyptic thing. It's really fucking wicked.
Yeah.
But if you look at Trent Reznor's videos for 9 Inch Nails, his doesn't necessarily reflect the song. His is more artistic expression.
Yes, that's what I was trying. I was gonna jump in and say, you know, you haven't seen any of those videos, but I have the DVD where it's all of their music videos through Glaubeli Toad, which came out a couple years back. But I mean, they're another band where it's artistically done, and Diro said in interviews where, you know, the band has as much, not control, but as much to say as they can. So they're involved with every aspect of the videos, and I think that's why they came out so well.
Yeah.
So I would love for Nameless to, because you mentioned you love the English, what is the English version? What is it called in English? Singing the Song of Death?
Oh, yeah, Song of Death. Yeah, it was really well done.
In German, it's Die Schlinge, which is the new
Die Schlinge.
And you should, I'd love for you to see the video. It's going to be in German, but
Die Schlinge, my
it's
Scheiße.
very
I'd
well
like to
done.
see that.
They have an old, like, Western.
Die Schlinge, my Scheiße.
You're going to be stooping
No.
them very quickly.
Song of Death of shit.
Stoopington.
Oh, no, Song of Death of my shit.
No, but I
But see-
don't think I've heard anything of theirs, and I'd like to.
Oh, man, they got
because
some-
We've been converting you to Iron Maiden.
Well, they got
Well,
some good
compared
stuff.
to them
We're gonna
as
break
well.
you in slowly. You're fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
don't
they all
let
wanna
me
have
break it.
It's coming.
Ow.
It's coming. It's coming.
I'm a
Break him
sponge.
down.
Gimme, I'm a sponge.
Um,
Hang on,
But-
real quick, like the
No.
Oomph stuff. I've started with the English album, and I started with the first, like a couple of songs, and the more I listened to it, I was like, all right, this is really good.
And
There's
that's
only
their
like
newer
a couple.
stuff.
Yeah, that's only a couple songs I didn't like, but there's one song on here. Let me find it real fast.
Because there was issues with their previous
What
labels,
was
so they
their,
couldn't
what was from the
re-release their
English
older
album they
stuff,
did
from
with
my
the Lord's
understanding.
Prayer?
Got It's Done Pop Stuff.
I love that song. That is a great song.
Be some Schlaus. Is that how you pronounce it?
Bis zum Schluss.
You could be some schloss if you
Bis zum
want.
Schluss.
Yes.
It's actually a really good song. I've been listening to that. I mean, even though I don't understand what the fuck they're saying, it's
It doesn't
But
matter.
the thing is, you can go on Google and just be like,
Well, not only
I
that.
speak German.
How
or
do you
fucking
think?
Google Chrome, find it in German, and in Google
Exactly.
Chrome you can hit the translate button. And it's not the best, but it does it pretty damn well, and
Yeah.
you can definitely get a good.
Well, what I like about
Not only
Monster
that, but how
album.
do you think a lot of people
That's the
around
most
the
recent
world
album.
felt
What's it called
about
again?
listening to English bands?
Monster?
No, the track with the Lord's
Yeah,
Prayer.
Oh, Got It's Done Pop Star.
God is a
But
pop
that
star.
came off of Glaubeli Toad.
Because the album that I have, all the titles are in German, even though it's an English album. So, what's it in German?
Got It's Done Pop Star.
What does Eckstein mean?
Billy. Oh, sorry. See, none of you guys are going to get that.
I can't remember.
Because he says it even in the English version. He says Eckstein, welcome to my playtime.
See, none of them got that, by the way.
Let me look it up.
Eckstein.
Well, while
Can't
she's looking
remember.
it up, let me finish with
Radio
Have
Land's
you
gonna
ever
listen to me
heard
type
of a
again.
dude named Billy Eckstein?
No.
Well,
Back
Which
when
find
we
out.
were, during the Cunning Stunts DVD that you see, that's when I was backstage the first time, and first Jason is starting to, walk through the line of people and sign autographs and such, and I'm snapping pictures, and he doesn't like to have flash in his eyeballs, and I'm doing the best to keep the flash out of his eyeballs, and I missed, and I said, sorry, Jason, and he goes, no problem. And we have a bunch of bootlegs and stuff for him to sign, and he's like, yeah, no problem, and he's signing the bootlegs, and then he goes on, and then the only one that Killa D hadn't seen in the time that she had seen them previously, she'd been backstage in the '94 tour, was James. So then James is walking up, and she's like, I'm not impressed by celebrity. James starts walking up, and she goes, oh my God! And I'm looking at James going, well, he's a nice man. And and she's going, oh, will you sign the yes and the yes and the yes? And he's like, yeah. And then he looks at it and he goes, is that a bootleg? She says, yeah, yes. And he goes, don't tell anybody. And he signs it. And and I'm like, hey, James, and hey. And
Don't tell Lars.
yeah, pretty much. Well, that was before that mess went down. But oh, look at the hat. Now somebody has to. You didn't. Oh, you didn't. Oh. You didn't have that on when she took. Oh, you did. I don't remember seeing.
Oh, he's done.
So what'd you find out?
It has to have some sort of social meaning to go with it because the word Eckstein by itself translates to cornerstone. Now the line in the original German
cornerstone, welcome to my plate.
No, but that's not what it
Billy
means.
said.
The original song, in the German, it's literally goes to cornerstone, everything must be kept hidden. So I understand why
Silly
he kept
German
it
people.
in German, but I would love to know if there's a social context to it.
Well, for the most part, I would say their songs translate very well.
Mhm.
Not like Rammstein, where it's just like silly words put together.
Yeah.
Although the song Sonne was Sonne.
So
It was one of my more favorite ones because actually, it's an actual song.
it is. It's a really great song. I hate to know that they originally wrote it specifically for a German boxer
Oh, it was a box.
to enter the ring to, and
And
after
he
they
said
made
no.
it, he said no, I went with a different song.
What
I
was the
thought that
name
was
of the song?
Sonne.
Sonne,
S-O-N-N-E.
yeah.
What
and then
album was it off of?
Mutter?
what's her name?
Mutter?
That's
The only thing-
very wonderful. Wonderful.
The only thing that
I want to salute like this.
the only thing that
Did you
like
say Wonder Waffle?
yes. The only thing that like throws me off, like listening to Rammstein and then listening to Oomph, is like you were saying, and I only noticed this after you pointed it out. Rammstein rolls the R.
All the goddamn
Yeah.
time. I mean, if you listen to their first album, Herzeleid, Rammstein
Herzeleid.
does roll their R's. Till does roll his R's,
Till.
but that's his name.
Time.
But he doesn't do it all the time, and
Till
it's
he comes
nice.
again.
Now it's like, because it became this big
Yeah.
thing, because they used to roll their R's during World War II and those kind of things.
Yeah.
It became this big controversy. So if you listen to the newer records, he has to do it every single word, and it drives me crazy.
Und.
Before we go any further, the official albums by Oomph
Yes.
is Oomph,
Yes.
Sperm,
Yes.
Defect,
Mm-hmm.
Defecate.
Wunschkind,
Wunschkind.
Unrein,
Unrein.
Plastic,
Sperm, then there's Munchkins.
Ego,
Sperm munchkins.
Wahrheit,
Wahrheit oder Pflicht.
uh,
That's where Algenau comes from.
what's the one with Todd,
Glaube Liebe Tod.
and Monster. So which album was the song on?
Which-
That
What's
you're
the
talking
song,
about?
Popstar?
No, with the Cornerstone lyric.
Oh, Algenau. It's off of Wahrheit
Radio
oder
Not
Pflicht.
Coming is the title of the track in English.
Yeah, and what I love about the song is it kind of plays on the hide and go seek thing.
Yeah.
But I can't remember how he did it in the English version. But it's different because like in English we say "Ready or not, here I come."
Yeah, Augen Oof.
Yeah.
Augen Oof.
Algenau.
Augen Auf literally translates out as eyes open, but the way
Yeah.
he's using the song is the sense of a game. Ready or not,
Mhm.
here I come from the game guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's why you got the kid counting.
If you
doesn't tell me.
1, 2, 3,
I want to hear this stuff now that you keep talking about it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Renata, come in. Wham, wham. Renata,
There's-
come
I
in.
wanna
There's
hear
not
this
a lot of
stuff now.
information on that
It's a good
album
song.
as a whole. So
Well,
a
it
lot-
probably is, but it's in German.
said
no, I'm saying a lot of the times what they do is that if they
I
have
don't care
what
if
the
it's
song's
German or
about, it's
English, I just
highlighted
wanna
in
hear it.
blue, so you click on it, and
Uh-huh.
the only one is the song Polar Bear.
It's gonna be
Polar
interesting.
Bear?
It's the new edition track listing. Track 9,
Polar Bear.
15 tracks. I can't
Yeah.
pronounce that in German.
We are having 15
Eisbär,
tracks. Do you like it?
Oh, Ice Bear. Yeah.
which translates to Polar Bear.
I'm
composed
having
by
a
Swiss.
listen.
It's a cover.
Is it Ice Bear? I can't.
Yeah.
People who actually speak German will notice that I have problems pronouncing German because I have a hard time with the R's in German. Because from my understanding, is in English, in a lot of the Romance languages such as French, Spanish, that kind of thing, the sound that you make with the R comes from the front of the tongue. Well, in German, it comes from the back of the tongue.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different. I have problems with
You
it.
probably have problems pronouncing my last name in its traditional German.
Yes, because it's got an R in it. And what's funny is, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's hilarious.
You've been hanging around Fred too long.
I have,
So before I want to get this
but I don't want to derail.
No, I want to
We'll have an oomph thing.
Oh, hell, definitely.
So we'll
Definitely.
be able to talk more about them later. But let's get back to Iron Maiden. But I think we need to take a quick break.
Take a quick break. Okay.
Alrighty.
Go take a
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back then.
Turn it off, because I don't know what's going to happen when you stop recording. Look, I just got to go pee real fast. There's no reason to stop while I'm not here.
But then you can interrupt us when you
Oh
come
my
back.
god, I'll just interrupt you right now. Why don't I just go pee in the corner? I'm going to go pee in the corner now because everyone here's being an ass.
That's sort of like Tinkless
Fuck
interrupt
you,
us
I'm
then.
going to pee in your mouth.
You might like it.
If you pay me.
Ugh.
Hang on a minute. Give me my wallet.
I was about to say, man, his fees are not pretty.
Yeah.
Runs with feces, it does.
Uh-oh. Let me get a suck on your little fag real quick. I just want to... Don't be a chav, you wanker!
You sound like a woman.
Oh my god. No, if I sounded like a woman, it'd be more like this. Why do you clean the house? You've been here all goddamn day! You don't do a motherfucking thing!
No,
I'm
that
around with
would
this shit!
be, and then it would
Actually,
be
more like, come on!
it
I'm
would
over
be-
this goddamn shit! I'm gonna work on fucking it! Don't interrupt me, you son of a bitch!
and then it would be, I've got a headache. No, I'm not going to do that again.
You always take his side! You sit there in your chair all goddamn day! Cows over there and bring fucking at the bunny! Everyone's like, come talk to me! I'm punching his ankle second! You all piss me off! I'm gonna take a piss!
What's
Fuck
funny?
you all! You're pissing me off! I'm gonna go over this goddamn shit off!
He's getting kind of pissy, isn't he?
I'm waiting for the line. All the things I do for you.
Yeah, yeah.
He was getting louder as he got
I
as
know.
he went further and further away.
But no, what was funny was when my mom actually, when she first heard him doing the Mickey Mouse impression, I asked her, what she thought, and she was like, "Who is that woman?" That was
He's got a badge somewhere.
that was Nameless doing his Mickey Mouse impression. She goes, "Oh, sounded like a woman."
Good, that's perfect.
Just as a side note, our boy Tony,
Yeah.
who did
Tony.
who did the banner work for our website.
Yes, sir.
He has a where he said he did a commission piece on Facebook.
Yes.
So
And
check
I
out his
think,
artwork. He's got his website's linked to ours.
You don't respect me, do you?
I don't think Tony liked that intro to you.
And you're gonna come over you with a motherfucking seat You don't respect a goddamn thing I do, you ungrateful little shit!
Look, at least the bathroom seat was warm. You got nothing, do you?
Well, shut up.
Pee in your mouth, call it devotion.
Second one's in your mouth.
That sounds like a song. It sounds like an oomph song.
No, they would not make a song called "Pee in Your Mouth" and call it devotion.
No.
Pee in your mouth, call it devotion.
No.
Ready or not, I'm coming! Yeah! Ready or not, I'm coming to pee in your mouth. I'll call it devotion. Yeah! Ready or God, I'm coming! Dun, dun. Hide your mouth.
All right,
Always longing
Giselle.
for my golden stream. Always dreaming of your tongue.
Dear God, he's still going.
I had some Mountain Dew, yeah.
After
Now
the
we'll have
coffee.
some fun. Yeah.
Shall I introduce Chad?
Bye.
Shall I introduce the Chad of the week?
Yes, introduce the Chad of the week then.
Eckstein, open your mouth
Billy,
and you'll
Billy.
cry. Oh, we're gonna get sued.
Uh-huh.
Chad of the week.
Well, they apparently have a very
My coffee's cold now.
It has a 2-hour time.
That was a rodent!
nameless.
What?
They supposedly have a very good sense of humor, so I'm hoping. We don't
See that?
sue
See what I'm gonna
thanks
do is
you.
just sit here
Yeah,
and
we'll
go
have,
a
we'll
bunch
have
of
to cut it
shit.
out like we,
And if they hear it, they'll be
like
like,
we
my
cut out my
God,
Twitter
amazing.
rant. We'll have to cut that
They're
out
not
too.
British, Chad.
then
You can't do a German accent, can you?
not off the top of my head now.
I am telling you right now.
They'll sit there and they will be. Oh no, it's more like croissant
Say
sector.
they're not French either.
I may have disputed myself.
Bestimmt. Or something. I forget what that means. My
I
parents
wasn't
used to say it.
because analog kids are like, I want to go and talk about Chat of the Week, you bastard.
No, I'm just
Fuck
going.
up.
I was trying to remember my German,
Yeah.
and I'm failing miserably.
I'll have to ask Mom.
If
I'll have to
you-
ask the.
Let me know if you see any, if you see of any German classes, because I don't know of any outside of a university setting. So I would love to refresh my German.
There's only one woman that
They've
Analog
got
Kid is
books.
afraid of.
Huh?
There's
Your
only
mom?
one woman, that Analog
Oh, yeah?
Kid is afraid of. My mother.
I'd be scared of that woman.
She'll smite me just by thinking.
Oh.
Well, and she did bowl a strike in Wii Bowl.
Well, dude, all I'm gonna say is anyone who sits there and doctors like, we're gonna go into operation, but we'll go next week, and they sit there and they go, "Fuck you, do it now." I mean, come on, like
On
that's
her birthday.
yeah, on her birthday. That's just like balls.
I've seen some shit in my life, and I'm just going, yeah, I'll take the surgery the day after my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Not my mom.
And then she sits there, wakes up out of a coma, bowls strikes in Wii bowling,
Mhm.
and then I'm pretty sure she's beaten a few people along the way.
Yep.
She's laid down some discipline. I bet.
She has. Trust me.
But no, what I was going to say, Analog Kid, is
I'm
I have
pretty sure
books so I can keep my reading and the writing up to date.
What I was saying,
Because
Analog Kid, is
speaking,
I just like
never
interrupting
really
people.
got a chance to develop because
Interruption.
speaking intensive class is
5 second rule,
university
by the way.
knows what bad habits. So I just
I'm impressed you're still going.
Well,
I'm trying real hard to
really,
figure it out.
I mean, I've got it's hard going on, so I just right across
Ready or
the
not, I'm
bow.
interrupting. Ready or not, I'm interrupting. Sing me the song
He's almost
of
as bad as this
interruption.
intro, where I'm about to open my
Especially
mouth. and say
mine.
Yeah, you don't open your
That's
mouth,
almost
and then I'll put something in it. I've had too much coffee. And don't say,
And it's
I can
cold.
tell, or I see, or I know. Because you know what? It's just cliche. You're like a Chad.
something. Yeah, I can tell
My
you that too much
favorite
coffee.
was when you were
Your
in,
eyeballs are bleeding.
Uh-oh.
you're not listening.
It means it's working.
Trying to tell them the story about when you were acting like a mosquito when we were out with our great aunt to the mall because you had Benadryl and was it the Ritalin that you were taking?
It was,
at the
yeah,
time?
it
Or
was
your
Ritalin,
Concerta?
Benadryl, and my mother was like, it'll calm him down. I'm sitting there like,
because he's ADD and to the exact opposite.
Yeah, my brother was the same way. If my
So,
brother
We're
was
sitting at a table. It's myself, it's my brother, it's my mom, my grandmom, and her sister. And all of a sudden, he has a glass of water, and he takes a napkin, and he lays the napkin over the glass, and he puts the straw in his mouth, and he says like, "Look, I'm a mosquito," and then he just goes, and then punctures the napkin and starts drinking water. My great aunt just kind of was like, "What the?"
What is wrong with you?
my brother was the same way. If he didn't get his dose of Ritalin, the best way to calm him down was to shove coffee down his throat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I will say my favorite story was when you got your wisdom teeth out, and I remember the experience when you had your wisdom teeth taken out. You were like just done for a week. You were sitting there, you were asleep. After the surgery, you were asleep.
Because I
So-
never had the anesthesia before.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, when I gotta get which was a load of shit. Because the dentist looks back there, he's like, yeah, you probably don't need to have them taken out. Because
Well,
my dad,
still
yeah,
has his.
dad never had to have
I
his
was
taken out.
hoping that I would be as lucky and wouldn't have
No,
to
no,
have
no.
the surgery.
He looked back there and he was like, yeah, you probably have enough going back there to support the wisdom teeth, but we're gonna pull them out anyway. And I was like, well, fuck that. And Dad goes, yeah, rip them out. You son of a bitch. But so I was like, all right, whatever. At least after this whole thing, I'll get like a week of sleep. It'll be fantastic. No, after the surgery, I woke up. I was like, who wants to go run a marathon? You guys want to go do stuff? Let's go do things. I want to write a story. Let's eat some popsicles. Hell yeah. And I was sitting there. I was like, yo, let's watch some Lost. So I watched the first 3 seasons of Lost, sitting there eating popsicles. Can't feel the lower part of my mouth. So I got it's all blue and black and shit from all the fucking popsicles that were just dripping because.
the popsicles.
Yeah.
I thought that you
But
had
I was so
bruise
pissed
'cause of,
off. No.
because I know one of mine was coming in at an angle, so I
Mine-
had a
No,
bruise
oh,
on
mine
my
were coming
one
fine.
jaw.
Mine were
because he had
impacted.
mine were impacted and one was coming in at an angle.
Sorry, that was my fault.
And when they make you watch that video, they tell you that if it's coming in at an angle, I had to watch a video before I had mine taken out.
I've got an angle.
But no, because it was coming in at an
Angle
angle, and they say that with a lot of those teeth,
There's
it's
only
like
2
there's a
people in
hook
this
on
room
one
that'll
of
catch that
those.
joke.
I'm trying to ignore you like I do him.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to talk to you at the same time, so it's not working. But no, so one of the
Oh no, that's working kind of well.
the teeth that come in at an angle, there's a possibility that they have a hook on one of the ends of their little 4 prongs.
Yeah.
And it can get wrapped around a nerve, so when they pull it out, they end up
Mess up your nerve.
fucking up the nerve. So you can live, so you can continue your life with not feeling half your lip. Like
Oh,
having
I
to
thought
you
like
can
your
still
face
move it,
like
but you can't
drooped.
feel it to the touch. No, it's not like when people have strokes. You can still move it. Everything works fine. You just can't feel it when somebody touch you.
Yeah.
So I'm 16
Oh, yeah, trust
thinking,
me.
what's
Is
that
there
going to be like
someone in my mouth?
if I can't feel half my lip? It'd be weird.
So Fred, did you catch the joke?
Which one?
I got an angle.
No.
Well, then I was the only one that got the joke.
Uh,
I'm the only one in this room that's seen heavy metal.
Yeah.
I've seen a piece of it.
Yeah.
No, I've seen a
Blasphemy,
piece
you
of
guys
it.
all suck. Not in this house.
Oh, that's me.
Chesapeake.
Yeah, like, get out of my car!
Well, he said something one time. I told him to get out of my car, and I was doing 80 miles an hour on the way to work. I said, I'm not even going to slow down.
Yeah. Tuck and roll, bitch.
Tuck and roll.
Fucking roll.
Yeah.
So, jab of the week.
Hey, I had to do story time with this fucker beatboxing the whole time. You can do it.
The MPAA and the RIAA.
Now what did they do?
They have convinced companies like Comcast, AT&T, and others to voluntarily create a 3 strikes policy for internet service providers in response to online file sharing with censorship tools such as throttling down your internet bandwidth and
Bullshit.
speed, limiting your access to the web,
Fuck you.
and controlling what websites you're allowed to visit.
Eat me.
And as a last resort, and requiring you to attend pirating schools to educate you on copyright law.
And the internet is free, wide open exchange of ideas, is it?
Yeah.
Bullshit!
Al Gore's turning over in his
Huh?
grave right now.
Al Gore's still
Porn?
alive.
What?
Hell,
They said
porn.
the internet's
That
about
fucker
free
lied to me.
ideas.
Oh, and
No, it's also about porn.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta go
Well, how
call
do
my
you think
sniper
a lot
real
of the internet technologies get where they are? Because porn goes, hey, how'd you like to do this? And then the rest of the industry goes, hey, that'd be really cool if we could do that without the porn. You know.
So if you're accused of downloading or streaming 3 files, they'll consider messing with your internet connection, maybe even decide that your sites are not allowed to visit. So
That's not up to them, though.
But see, that's one of the reasons why there are certain Comcast companies, such as Time Warner Cable, that will sit there and actually fight those subpoenas that they receive from lawyers and other courts. So
But you know what? That'll only go on so long before they knuckle under and...
well, my point is that Jesus was the first one to actually do pirating.
Yeah,
Look at the Fishes and Loaves scene.
right. But see, they're not into that. They're not
That's a
into
wee
that.
bit of a stretch there, but
John actually liked that one.
that was pretty good.
But the thing is, A, none of these companies give a rat's ass about Jesus Christ in the first place. So that's number one.
It's my God-given right to download.
Sure it is. Oh, well, whatever.
Oh, shit,
But,
it was
you know,
all
the
sweaty.
internet is supposed to be
For
free,
porn.
wide open exchange of information. And porn. Especially porn. Please send me porn. I love porn. But I'm old. That's all I have. But anyway.
It's a lonely way of existence.
It's a lonely thing. If you're,
I'm so
Uh,
running.
if you have big breasts, send me your pictures. But anyway,
Down, boy.
bumpy road.
yeah,
I sure could use one right now.
yeah, bumpy road, yeah. But seriously, you know, eventually, groups like or bunches like Verizon who want to create a 2-tiered internet system.
You can suck
One
my
tier
ass.
for those who can
You might
not
like
afford a whole lot, and the up above tier for the ones that can pay a lot of money can get speedy service. Fuck you. All I have to do is go to Europe. And in Europe, in Iceland of all fucking places, I can go and I can get internet faster than what you're paying for right
Yeah.
here. Easily.
Well, the thing is, over in Europe, they have, 100 meg up, 100 meg down, and it's like no big deal. If you look at what Google's trying to do, they're trying
Exactly.
to install 100 meg systems all around the U.S. The problem is the people in the U.S., generally speaking, never would utilize that kind of bandwidth.
I
So
would.
it kind of fucks people like me who would really love to have 100
Exactly.
meg up. But the other thing that I found interesting was Time Warner Cable, when they install a system, they don't max the system out. So what you generally end up happening is, they'll cap you at, let's say you pay for the 10 meg service. You're generally speaking going to get 10 megs. You'll get what you pay for. Generally speaking, I've had my problems, but whereas like AT&T will generally max their bandwidth. So you run into problems like in peak hours, you'll be sitting there and you won't get what you pay for, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. I've never really had a problem with Time Warner Cable until I moved near the college I was around here, and the node was just screwed up, so I was
Yeah.
getting like 56K speeds.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, they were pretty cool about it, and I called them. I was like, I'm not paying for this. And they were chill about it. But it's just one of those things where I would say, yes, Time Warner Cable's probably charging more, but at the same time, you're going to get the best bang for your buck with Time Warner Cable.
Yeah.
And they have those packages where you can pay $25 a month and get 5 megs down and like 256 up, which generally speaking, it's all a lot of people need.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for someone like me, I was paying $60 a month. I was getting 30 megs down and half a meg up. That ain't bad. And now they've just bumped everybody up, because what they'll do is, they add that new service where it's like 50 megs down, like 10 megs up or some shit for $100 a month. But when they did that, they upgraded everybody else. So me paying $60 a month, I was getting 30 megs down, half a meg up. Now I'm getting 30 megs down, 1 meg up. So they don't charge you more, but they'll still bump you up. So as the system grows, you grow with it.
Yes, nice.
So, but I will agree, we're definitely not where we should be. And as far as the thing, or as far as bandwidth goes, but
Right.
when you see what things like people cry about Google, they're trying to monopolize the world. It's like, well, yeah, but at the same time, they're bringing good things to the world. I mean, it's
As long as it isn't a two-tiered system where the rich get this and the rest get this, I'm fine.
yeah, but generally, when you look at how society is, I mean, that's what it is. If you can afford it, you get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
I'm not saying I agree with
That's
it.
not just in the United States. That's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I am saying, that's just how it is.
My European cousins, without naming which country, have access to a better system than they have in this country, a faster system than they have in this country, and they don't pay what you do in this country. So since they're a smaller country, I just don't understand why it is a larger country like this, you pay more money and you get shit by comparison. I will not understand it, and I will not tolerate it.
If you look at other countries, their infrastructures are much more well established than what we have here. I mean, China's building tons of rail systems.
Then why can't we?
Because we're a country of lazy people.
Right. Exactly.
And our debt is just fucking retarded.
Yeah. Exactly.
I really, China owns most of our debt. I really want them to just be like, you know what, dude, we'll clear your debt, but we want Montana.
Exactly.
Just like some random landlocked
As long
state.
as it's not New York.
And they want it. You know what I'm saying? So like they take a state, or like Arizona or some shit, and it's just United
Alaska.
States, and then boom.
Let's
because
say
Alaska's
they would be Chinese.
Alaska's up here. I want something like South, like South Dakota or Mississippi. Something.
They're not going to sue. They don't listen to the internet. I don't care.
Yeah, but there's not a
But a perfect
Well, no, we need to
example.
keep Pennsylvania for historical references.
Well,
It was the
I mean,
A
first
good
capital.
example of what you're talking about, though, is I had a buddy.
I was thinking Utah.
Oh yeah.
A buddy of mine on
Utah.
Xbox Live.
Those are Mormons.
He gets his internet speed is he pays for
Tomato,
three
tomato.
megs down, and I think he gets like 128 up.
Right.
And
What
half the
potatoes?
time his system runs at a third of that speed.
No matter what country it
And
is, it's
he was
potatoes.
paying more money. He was paying $80 a month for that, and I was paying $60 for 30 megs down, half a meg up. And the thing was, where he lived is that company had such a monopoly on the market because Time Warner hadn't been out there yet, so they could charge whatever the fuck they wanted.
Right.
And so he went to the Better Business Bureau. He did all this stuff to try and get them to change it. And I think finally they upgraded the service, but it's just like Jesus Christ. That's the problem is we don't have. I guess.
I've found that with companies like that, when they go, this is your arbitrary fee, this is what you pay. If you say, stick it up your ass, I'm not paying your arbitrary fee, this is what you're going to get, the first thing they'll do is, no, this is our arbitrary fee and this is what you pay. Then when you go and you say, fuck you, I said this is what I'm paying, and you do it 3 or 4 times, they go, oh, okay, yeah, you can pay this. Unless you bitch, they will continue.
Yeah. The squeaky wheel gets the most oil.
Yeah.
Unless they're such a big company, they really don't give a fuck if you.
Well,
buy them.
the one I was battling is a huge company, and I'd love to name them and slag them everywhere. I'm sure the things that I
soon we come from the land of lawsuits, so could we not do that?
right, but I've done enough, to where they understand who they are, so that's good enough for me. And I'll gladly tell anyone privately exactly how to go about getting their money's worth from that company. But when you do that to a company that has all these tiers of BS between you and their fees.
Mm.
When you continue and you persist and you go, I'm going to complain here, unless you do this, and then you start doing it, they're not going to do anything. But once you do, they go, oops, yeah, I'm terribly sorry. I'll take that feedback.
Well, fun fact, just a quick, side fact here. 50% of our nation's bandwidth usage, Netflix.
Hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think
Well, I
another
use the shit out of
30% is like online gaming.
Wow.
I mean, like Netflix, I use it all the damn
Oh, hell yeah.
time. My DVD queue constantly stays between 450 and 500 discs at a time.
Wow.
Like I always keep it full.
How about you, Analog?
For what?
Netflix.
No, I don't use Netflix. I use Blockbuster. If I'm streaming, it's more or less my PS3 online.
But still, wow. And I don't do a whole lot of that because I'm never home. But
Let's
All right.
see. I left off with Somewhere in Time.
oh yeah,
I've got to make fudgies again.
Serious?
Dude, I had like 30 cups of coffee. What do you expect is going to happen?
and he's got a pinch of loaf as it were.
You got a half hour before you got to leave, so let me get at least 2 servings on.
Can I go upstairs and blow it up?
Fine.
Woohoo!
So you're blowing up all the toilets in the house?
So,
What I was gonna say, Freddie, was what I love about Netflix, and then also, from my understanding, Blockbuster has this as well. And there's probably a couple other companies. Is the instant streaming for movies and TV shows is like I don't have cable. I have that. That's I don't need to have all the commercials, all the current I'll wait for the episodes to come out for at a later time. But I love that it's such a large library and it's not just the stuff that's in the States, it's from other countries and things like that. So it's great because I can go and I can, search and I can watch and I don't have to worry.
Well,
it's just nice to have.
It's like satellite television used to be in the United States until, of course, the federal government got involved and made it so you can't watch Bolivian television by pointing your satellite a little bit to the left or right, or Russian television, or German television, because in the mid-90s, early 90s, you could do that. Now you can't do that anymore thanks to the American government and the censorship. But, what you're talking about, you can get movies from anywhere via Netflix. I hope that's okay for a while until the American government gets involved again.
Well, it's not movies from anywhere. It's movies that have been released in the United States, and it comes with English subtitles, which is what I like. Now, some of the anime, because people are still in other countries, they seem to understand the difference between cartoons for children and cartoons for adults. And Adult Swim in the States has really pushed that idea of there are cartoons that are not for children. But with the anime that's on Netflix currently, the majority of it, you don't have the option to watch it with subtitles on the instant streaming, so you have to have the discs in order to have that option.
Yeah.
But it's still a fantastic library. But yeah, it is things that have been officially released in the States. Whether or not they're easy to get a hold of, that's up for debate. But it's still opening people up to more options than just what's shoved down their throats on the TVs all the time.
And it used to be that if you went to Google, you could get information that was not available via the networks in the United States. Now, apparently, Google has been compromised. So now, I think I've mentioned this on a previous edition of the show, but now somebody that I know at work, who shall remain nameless, just in case this is an issue, goes to Der Spiegel, the English version of Der Spiegel, because this individual doesn't speak German, and gets information via that newspaper that you cannot get by going to Google or any other place, because they filter what you receive. And, the whole idea of the internet being a free exchange of ideas is garbage, because every time you turn around, when there's a free exchange of ideas, someone tries to piss on it. And, if I wanted to be controlled, I would ask for it. But I'm not asking for it. And I'm, in fact, asking for the opposite. And I'd appreciate it if the entities that are listening to this would understand, golly, maybe we should give the people what they want and let them decide. But I realize that's what the United States isn't all about anymore, so you can't have that. But maybe we'll get back there eventually. But yeah, you know, it's so cool that you get, like, for instance, with Netflix, for instance, there's tons of movies that you can get that, you know, from way back when to the present day that are fascinating and that are terrific for people that haven't discovered them yet to be able to see.
I mean, it's great because you rate them on a 5-star scale, and you can get suggestions based on
What
you've rated and what you've liked. I mean, it's a fascinating product.
That is neat.
And it's just a really nice collection of things. And from my understanding, they're trying to. There's things similar to it, I know, in the UK, because Calvi's told me about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know about other countries over in Europe if it's still, if there's
What
anything
is-
similar to it currently.
What does Calvi have?
I can't remember the name of the UK company, but I know that
mean, what
Netflix
type
at
of
one
thing?
point, it's the same thing
Yeah.
as Netflix here in the States, but I believe the one that he had sent me, because this is months back, they not only did movies and TV shows, they also did video games.
Oh, wow.
Whereas here in the States, we have a totally different company that just specifies it in just video game rentals.
What would be great if you could combine Netflix and that company in the UK and have them offer all of the things that they offer to both sides, and then those two would combine with, say, a German company, and where you could get all three of them offering all that stuff to
Yeah.
all those sides, and if you needed subtitles, fine.
Yeah.
And to eventually get a global company that would, you could watch a Sri Lankan video game if you wanted to, or a movie with the subtitles, or a Bollywood movie, or that would be really
I don't know about
great.
the legalities of that though, because
I
you're
don't
talking
either.
about so many different
Yeah.
laws.
Well, I mean, but look at what Netflix
motion picture
does.
industry and
But
everything
look at
like
what
that.
Netflix does.
But right, the other thing that Netflix also does is you can watch them instantly. But
Yeah.
there's also a large part of their collection that you have to have mailed to you. So when they tried to release Netflix in the UK, it failed because of the postal system. Because people weren't getting their discs on time.
So then they can just
Because-
Netflix instant.
Right, but then you're talking about how fair is that to the American people if you offer instant only for your entire collection
Then
for
what
the
you do
UK,
is
but not in the US.
then what you do is you say, hey, Verizon and you other scumbag company that's trying to make a two-tiered system, F you, do it like this so all these people can have access to all this stuff, and all that's going to happen as a result
but
is
they're
all of you will
playing
make
on
more
the,
money.
but the company is streamed through the quote-unquote 2-bit system,
Oh,
so
I
it doesn't
know.
matter what they do.
Oh, I know. But if there were enough monetary push, and if the money would, if the idiots that are trying to stiff you would see how much money is really there from not stiffing you, they'd stop stiffing you. Because the only reason they're stiffing you is to make more money. But if they see that by not stiffing you, they'll make more money than by stiffing you, then they'll stop it. But that's the only way to make them see it, is to go, look, hey, if I want to see, and because what they're seeing is, hey, there's not really a market for Yugoslavian dark humor or whatever, so no, we're not going to. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah, but I mean, just what I keep thinking of is everything that you've mentioned in the past 5 minutes, 10 minutes, is, you were asking why are businesses, approaching things in a certain way, and why aren't we like Europe in a lot of things. I think a lot of it comes from the douchebag business approach from the 80s of
Yep.
how can I fuck the consumer.
Yep.
And I feel like it's still present today.
Yes.
It's
more
still,
so.
and it's embedded in everything now. It's not just with, companies trying to, monopolize the markets. It's with everything.
And I think.
And it sickens me. It sickens me to the point of where I can't stand it.
And I think also that if companies or websites like this or others,
Well, we heard a toilet flush. We should be back soon.
were to offer things to people and that they immediately go, yeah, give it to me, and it is seen that there's a market, then they're going to turn around. Well, first of all, of course, being of that vintage you described, they're going to try to exploit it financially. But when they can't do so, and they shouldn't be allowed to do so, they're going to say, well, then why can't we make this available to everybody? And then they're going to make more money that way, but these idiot money-grubbing
They're
bastards
so
don't see it that way.
close-minded.
Yeah.
But I do like the comment that you made of there were still, they were douchebags, but there's still good things that were brought through them monopolizing.
No.
Because I have made comments before about how I feel like Anheuser-Busch owns too much of the market, and
Indeed.
it's true. But they also import a lot of different beers. So,
Did it make a
while
Yeah.
monopolizing,
Okay.
I mean, that's how I'm able
Would've
to
been
get
funnier if
my,
you had made
that's how I'm able to
first.
get
I waited for a
Japanese
second.
imports that I like.
Okay.
I'm able to get certain, other beers from other countries. I mean, it's not great, but they're still
And then-
trying. I mean, it's not great that they're monopolizing the market and they're making it difficult for independent brewers to emerge and to make money. But
Not
they're
only
also
that,
bringing some
but-
good stuff in.
By the way,
Not
my
only
boy
that,
brews
but-
his own beer and it's fucking delicious.
Not only that,
We
but
should bring
also
some
the
douchebag.
the beer that you're getting is not the beer that came from where it came
No,
from.
it's not. And
It's the goose piss Americanized
it
version.
is, and that
'Cause-
sucks too. But
yeah.
at least it's better than my only option being Bud Light.
Exactly. Indeed.
Indeed, you do.
Indeed.
But Nameless has dropped his bomb.
Yes.
I sent out a text message right before I flushed. It was incoming!
The brown bomber has returned.
Gonna come home and be like, what the fuck happened?
By the way, I didn't realize there was a toilet like right upstairs, and I was totally about to go into the Narnia bathroom. And then, so then I left, and I was like, when I was walking out of the bathroom, I was utterly confused because there's a whole nother like room that way,
Sweet.
It's
and I was like,
Sam's.
what the fuck? This is the Narnia house,
Yeah,
because you don't think there's gonna be more, and there's more.
yeah. I believe that's a 6-year-old room.
Yeah.
I believe you can shut the fuck up.
Oh, I
Yeah.
you could fall down some stairs.
Oh.
In fact,
I'm not pregnant
quite
though.
disappointed
You're not
that
British.
you didn't do that earlier.
You're not British.
Hang
He
on, let me
likes
go-
to pretend he's British.
Let me go try it again.
Excuse me, I've got some wine!
Martin Crombie!
That would only be funny if you threw into the air right before you started falling some tea in.
Yeah.
But when I land-
cup
but-
and saucer and a half-eaten crumpet.
But I'm at the bottom, and the cup and saucer and the crumpets land like perfectly on my
Oh, your
chest, and I go,
chest,
at least they made it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you die.
Yeah.
With your neck going that way.
Hello, Mr. Kitty. Hello,
all right.
everybody.
What you got?
What I got. Sorry, while you guys were having your conversation, I was updating the website for the chat of the week.
That's cool. I figured you were doing something important, so I just kept rolling.
Yeah.
Call me Bruce Willis.
No, what's up?
I'm Bruce Willis, Stallone. You don't get to be Bruce Willis. I just said I would be Bruce Willis. I think I was better cop than you. Look, we had this conversation last week. I don't know what you're saying. All right, Stallone. Seriously, get the fuck out of here. Look, anyway, you just be a dickhead. I'm a
Where's my maid?
You want me to make you say my name, you motherfucker? Hey, get your head out of your Swiss, you fat ass motherfucker. Now, I'm goddamn Rocky. You mess with me. I'm gonna beat you so bad you'll learn to talk straight, you motherfucker.
I'll show you to my maid.
Ender's Game. Is
I'll do to you what I did to the Spanish woman that cleaned my house.
Wait,
Yes.
but what am I was trying to make sense of his last statement, but I realized he doesn't make sense a lot of the time, so just let it go.
Semen. Act. 9.
See what I did there?
I did.
I made 7.
All right.
Hang on, let me get real close so I can be right next to all my little fans out here in radio listening land. Well, I've got to go. Actually, hang on. I've got to go, but it's been a pleasure. Pleasuring your ears.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't need help from the peanut gallery. Oh, yeah, I like that. More.
But I'll see you lot next week, I will. And also make sure you tune in for our 4th of July episode. It's gonna be fantastic. Go fuck yourself. I hope you trip up some stairs.
Are you going to do some more Midnight Madness?
Oh shit, I keep forgetting to do Midnight
Yeah, you
Madness, so
fucking
stay tuned
do.
for some Midnight Madness. Anyways, gents, I gotta roll. Alright, it's been a
I'm
pleasure.
not a gent, I'm a lady.
Fuck you.
Word.
My brother. Yeah.
Chill.
Pound that shit. No.
Oh,
Like this.
excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm 55. I'm terrible.
He doesn't pound
Real
that
quick,
shit.
go ahead. It's the cold fish handshake.
Oh yeah, wait,
Tommy.
do it again.
Yeah, there we go.
Sir.
Not a servant lady.
Fine.
She
Turn
most
that
assuredly has all the
Oh, come on,
parts.
that's all you're going to get from me as a hermit.
For Christmas, God bless us, everyone.
Yeah.
But have fun.
I will.
Oh,
Tens
he's
of
Tiny
pounds.
Tim for a reason, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Oh,
He
I know.
apparently did not hear a damn word.
Thank
After that
goodness.
rhyme, she doesn't. That's all. Alright, well, I cleaned up as best I could there, so.
Yeah.
There's still some duties up in the toilet, I think.
All right, Tiny Tim.
Alright, I'll see you lot later. Oh, and just because I haven't really done it yet, Calv, go fuck yourself. There we go. Bloody little wanker, you.
Yeah.
I still think he needs ruin.
Oh, he probably does.
No, geez, then he wouldn't be the person that he is. Leave him just like he is.
Interruption!
Yeah.
Alright, now I'm really going.
You're not calling.
Fuck you!
I can see him driving down the road trying to call.
Interruption!
I can see him doing it.
He heard you. He's
So,
probably gonna do it now.
Yeah.
well, phone's on silent. So I'll just pause there. That's halfway through the X Factor. By the time we get back,
seriously, this is the last interruption. Alright, now I'm really going. Let's do the other stuff. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
No! I'm leaving now.
Oh.
Everything's except for that one row.
and I'm sitting right in front of it. But by the time we get around to doing it again, you should have been exposed to everything.
Oh, I would imagine. I'm damn near there now.
So, but
You've gotten me 16 years worth of Iron Maiden. You have to learn how to pronounce it properly, right, Callie? Because if you don't pronounce it properly, you're not a fan.
yeah.
Or
But I'm sure we.
house and backhands. you.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could talk about this, since even though Nameless left. We can continue talking about your opinion about what you thought.
Like I was saying before, it's interesting that they went from their punkish beginnings, such as the other band that we won't name, but yeah, Metallica was there as well. Well, I just
Well,
named
was the
them.
band that you don't name.
Then I just
Sure you
did.
named it.
Yeah. Well, and
He left before I do story time.
story time.
Do I have to wait till next week to do story time since he's not here?
I say just do it.
I say.
If you want, I can call him on the phone and have him. Be
No, because it won't be the same.
Yeah.
Unless you can plug your phone into the laptop so we can record it.
Well, I can put him on speaker and put it right next to the laptop.
Yeah,
Should we try it?
I think
I
so.
don't think it'll be that funny with him not here.
Oh, I think it'll be just as funny. Maybe even funnier because
Because
he's
it's
on
about
the phone.
another British band.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we can just try it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Giselle.
I'm trying, I'm
But
calling
while
him.
you're trying to get hooked up with him, I
We should be a
just-
dick and wait till he's trying to try on the shit first while, at
Try
4:30.
on.
At
Yeah,
4:30.
Try at 4:30 while he's trying to try on his clothes. Go, excuse me, Nameless. Right then.
While you get that bow tie tied on with your cummerbund.
Yeah. Are you a bit nervous trying to put your underwear on? Don't defecate. Oh no, you did that twice here.
But
I'm
you
terribly
like
sorry.
No Prayer for the Dying. You said you liked Sanctuary, or not Sanctuary. Strange World.
Right.
You said you liked the way Friendship Strangers played out.
Yep.
And we were talking about how son of a bitch. Oh, that's not him. We were talking about how 500,000 people
Yeah.
show up at Rock in Rio
Yeah.
just to listen to Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
That's 500,000 bodies.
Yeah. Well, the Rio audiences are like that. It's just like I always thought of Wembley audiences as audiences that reacted in unison. Like you could look out into the audience at a Wembley show,
Mhm.
and everybody at that show is almost like they're choreographed intentionally.
Mhm.
I mean, if you looked at the Live Aid discs that I think I
Well, I watched a Queen video on YouTube where they played at Wembley, where they were doing Under Pressure.
or Radio Gaga, you see him go, and
Yeah.
everybody's doing that. And so I always thought of Wembley audiences like that, and then I see the Rio audience, and it's a religious experience for them, as I think you may have described it with another band, and they're watching.
Oh yeah, if you watch Russian Rio, they're like literally got their hands clasped and genuflect up at the sky whenever Tom Sawyer was the first song that came out, and they were like thanking God that the band opened up with Tom Sawyer.
Yeah,
I mean religious fanatics, and it was just like, y'all need to calm down. It's just a song.
yeah, but at the same time, you look at the countries in question, and like even Iron Maiden, when the first time they came to LA or Las Vegas, they were like, holy
Oh yeah, it was a culture shock for Steve Harris. He talked about that in an interview where he said, you know, it's fun to go to the United States because, like he said, in Los Angeles and LA, Las Vegas and LA, they're wide the fuck open. It's a whole new experience. But then you go to some other towns where they're about to play and they got their arms crossed, waiting like, are you going to impress me or what?
Well, I know that, like, for instance, when Zeppelin was coming over here the first time, and they'd only been, like, Jimmy had been exposed, but Robert and Bonzo had never been exposed to anything like that.
Right.
Whereas John Paul Jones had as well previously. But those two guys, the newbies in the band, were looking at this sea of people, and all the girls are whipping off their tops going, come on, big boy! And, you know, they had no idea because British audiences don't react that way. Because if you listen to, like, the BBC sessions, you know, you hear, you know, the band ripping up a song, and at the end they go, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Right then. Thanks, cheers, mate. Gotta go home now. Gotta go pee.
Yeah, like the band just played in front of Parliament.
Right.
Which is
exactly.
Like,
and then they
minimum.
And then by complete contrast, you watch The Song Remains the Same, and the Madison Square Garden audience goes apeshit.
Yeah.
And but that's the way the American audiences reacted then and react now. As I'm sure British audiences are very similar now than, you know. I
have noticed that I've watched some vintage footage of audience recordings for particular bands, specifically Queen, Deep Purple, and Rainbow, where they're not really interacting with the crowd, or the crowd's not interacting with the band. But then again, you get frontmen like Ozzy Osbourne and Bruce Dickinson, where they purposely trip over themselves to engage the audience.
Right.
One of the staples of Bruce Dickinson is whatever town he's in, scream for me.
Yeah.
And everybody does it.
Say my name, bitch!
Literally, I remember like in what was it in Live After Death, you hear him several times scream for me, Long Beach, scream for me.
Yeah.
And it just became a staple for him in just about every tour. He did DC when I went to the show.
And you know, bands I've seen do similar things, and to evoke the audience response, and it works.
Right.
You know, because unless you're willing, because you can, as a band, you can go play and the audience can watch, and it can be that separation if you want it to be. You can be this band that goes out and performs your piece from A to Z, like if you want to do a concept album, like say if you're a Pink Floyd, and go from A to Z, and Pink Floyd's probably like that, where they just take that piece and go from A to Z, and everybody sits there in awe and goes, wow, they just did the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't necessarily go,
Usually a lot of babies that are high off their ass.
Well, see, I went to go see Pink Floyd in Raleigh during the Division Bell tour, and they played every song I wanted to hear but one, and I was actually kind of upset they didn't play it. I wanted to hear Dogs of War.
yeah,
I really wanted to hear that song, but apparently, if I wanted to hear that song, I should have gone to the tour that went to Raleigh 3 years before that, when they did the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour. But they played One of These Days,
yeah.
and I was speechless. I was just like, oh my God, I just creamed.
Well, you know,
It's a religious experience going to a Pink Floyd show.
Like when I went to see Zeppelin in '77, they were an hour late, and that was bad. But they come to this end.
So it's Led Zeppelin's fault. Guns N' Roses do what they do.
Yeah. Well,
if Zeppelin can do it, so can we.
Yeah, and this was like April 15th of '77 in St. Louis, and they're an hour late, and the place is roasting. I mean, there's no air conditioning in that place anywhere.
Oh, I bet.
And we're just, steaming hot waiting for these people. And they finally show up, And, you know, Robert comes to the stage and goes, well, you know, since we're late, we normally have an intermission in our show for you guys to get up and get Cokes or whatever, but we're just going to play straight through. And they did. And they went, and if you know the 77 bootleg set list,
Right.
they did that set list. And, you know, it ended up at the end, right after they did the iconic Stairway tune, someone threw a Frisbee and hit Robert in the head. And Robert at that point said, fuck St. Louis, we're never coming back. The encore would have been Rock and Roll and Whole Lot of Love, which they did not do, but that was their staple encore. So they left, and when he said, fuck St. Louis, we're never coming back, as that band, they never did.
Yeah.
Because it was not long after that that Robert's son died, and that tour stopped.
Right.
And they came home, and he had to bury his son, and, well, and all of that. Yeah, his little boy. That was... his firstborn was his son, and then the secondborn is, I guess she's close to 40 now. You know that song, The Ocean, where he says, and she was only 3 years old, and it's a real fine way to start. Well, if you ever Google those lyrics, that's who he's talking about, and she's close to 40, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened with his son?
With his son, it was some intestinal virus, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he was touring, and then he gets this phone call from, I guess, his wife. And that was it. It was just like, I'm done. We're not doing this anymore. And he went home. And they didn't, the next tour they were going to do was 1980. And so they're revving up for that by doing all these tours in Europe, and Bonzo's drunk off his ass and falling off his drum kit, passed out and stuff like that. And
out of the way of Keith Moon.
Yeah, and well, yeah, and then September 25th, you know, after September 24th, they were rehearsing for the tour that was right about to start in the U.S. And at John Paul Jones's house, I believe, they had normally what they did was whenever Bonzo drank too much, they would prop him up on his side so he would, if he did throw up, it would be
He
okay.
would choke on it, yeah.
So, right. So they go into his room. He's face down like this, and they go, "Hey, buddy, come on, then." Nope.
He was dead?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yep. And that's how they found him, was in John Paul Jones's house,
Oh, no.
in one of the rooms in his you know, big ass house back then. Yeah. So then that ended that, and they were, you know, obviously, and then they quit. By 3 or 4 months later, they put out a statement that said, "Yeah, we're not doing this anymore," and they pretty much haven't since. Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's interesting. Like Maiden, how awesome they are as people and close they are as friends. There are other bands that are like that. They're just not. They argue, but they argue with each other sometimes in public, but they're still right there for each other if need be. Those guys are one. The Who is another. You know, like a lot of the Who tours before John Entwistle died were because John Entwistle had a huge coke habit. And
Yeah, don't get me started on this.
and they, yeah.
I didn't. He's getting me started.
I'm getting, yeah.
Well, see, that I'm kind of pissed off because I was going to go see the Who a couple of years ago when they were going to.
2002 is when you were gonna
2002.
go see him.
So
That's not a couple years ago anymore.
It's more like 9. He's getting old.
What's
Like
11 minus 2?
like Fred
You
Zeppelin, he's
bust out
getting
your
old.
abacus? Don't throw things at me.
See, you were just a child back
2002? No.
then. He was still an adult back then.
No, 2002 I was a young adult. Don't mock me. I was
Really?
17.
you weren't of legal drinking age.
Shut up.
Exactly. You were a child.
What pisses me off about this is that I was going to go see this tour. Now, granted, it wasn't a full reunion tour because Keith Moon had passed away.
Yeah.
But it was going to be the closest thing.
Mhm.
And the night
saw him in
before
April.
they were going to go on the tour, John went up into a hotel with an 8-ball and about 18 hookers and died that night.
Yeah. And
And
but
they
then,
canceled the tour. I was pissed. I
the,
wanted to go see them.
but Roger and Pete would go out on tour just to make money for him previously to pay off his coke debts.
Fucking John needs intermission is what he needed.
Yeah, that's what he really needed, is for them to go, F you, I'm done, go clean yourself up. But they didn't do that. They kept going, okay, we'll go on tour again. We don't like to do this anymore, but we'll do it for you. And that's why they kept doing it.
And it's a shame because John was a badass motherfucker on the bass.
Well, that's when I heard the Iron Maiden version of people try to put up, My Generation.
My Generation.
I listened to that and I heard Steve's bass playing and went, holy shit! Have you heard their version of that song?
No.
holy shit. I mean, he just, and I'm listening to that going, damn, where is, obviously he's in the room. And what year was that done?
98.
Shit. I hope Bent Whistle heard that before he died, because that is the best version of that song I think I've ever heard.
I'm not sure, but that led us to our conversation the other day where I've got the Tipton, Entwistle, and Powell recordings.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that too.
Baptism of Fire was one. I can't remember the other one.
Where
But
he
he plays heavy
stuff.
metal. I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The bassist to the Who playing heavy metal.
Well, because he could do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a far cry to go from a hard rock band to play heavy metal. It's not a far
No.
cry to do it. It's just that you don't expect it from an iconic band of a particular genre. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Alan Parsons' Project all of a sudden busting out with some heavy metal.
Yeah.
It would be interesting, and I'd want to hear it, but it would shock me. I'm like, what, Alan Parsons' Project and heavy metal? What?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you listen to the Pink Floyd as a whole, and then you listen to their individual solo albums.
Yeah.
Completely different sound.
Yeah. Because, well, it's like,
We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
sure.